Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be trying to find implied volatility spikes using out of the money options before earnings events. And we're going to try and see if we can spot some patterns of when the options increase in value due to the event. I currently have some put options that I'm shorting in Palantir, and I noticed that on one particular option, the premiums increased dramatically. And after looking into it, I realized that the option chain expired a couple days after earnings. Now there was no significant movement in the actual stock. So I wanted to check and see if it's a good idea to take the other side of the option a couple of days prior to expiration to take advantage of the increase in implied volatility. So we're going to start off by requiring some packages. I'm also going to load some functions to get options data from my database. And the symbol that I'm going to be using is Palantir. Now in the very next block, I'm going to build a function that gets the earning dates from Yahoo Finance. So if you go to this particular website and insert a ticker, we can load and see all the earnings releases for any particular stock. And we also get some dates into the future, but I want to scrape this table to get the earnings dates. So back in our script, we're going to pass in this URL. We're going to read the page, extract the table, format the earnings date, and we want to limit the future releases. So in one of the parameters, we're going to insert a date and get all the earnings releases before that date, and remove any duplicates in case there's multiple iterations for any particular earnings date, and then return that table. So here I use this function, passed in the symbol, and I want all the earnings releases before February 10th of 2024, and then we're going to print the table. So it loaded up correctly, formatted the dates correctly as well. And all I really need from this table are the earnings dates. So we're going to go ahead and use that table and extract the unique dates. And what I'll be doing here in this block is I'm going to pass in all the unique earnings dates. I'm going to create a sequence of dates, extract only the trading days according to the NYSE calendar, and I'm going to return the closest Friday so that I'm able to use this date for the option chain that I want. Here we have printed out all the option expiration dates following our earnings, and we're going to use those dates to get options data. So what I'll be doing is getting all the options 20 days before each expiration, making sure I selected the correct option chain, expiring on each of these dates. I'm only going to return these columns to limit the size of the table, and I'm going to add another column called stock to strike, which is just the difference between the strike and the stock close. And I'll be using that column to subset only out of the money options. So if you're using your own data, your table should look similar to this one. Once you have loaded up this data, we're going to go ahead and reframe or summarize that table. So in this following block, we're going to start off by making sure that the days to expiration are greater than 0. And for each option chain in my data set, I'm going to calculate the average implied volatility. And this will return the average implied volatility for both the calls and the puts each day. And what we're going to do next is for each of the option chains, we're going to split by call and put. We're going to reorder by days to expiration. And we're going to calculate the percentage difference in implied volatility. And we're going to return that as a data frame and multiply the percentage change by 100. So now the IVs should look similar to this, where we have our flag, our expiration, the days to expiration, the average implied volatility, and the percentage change. Now that we have this table, we're going to go ahead and plot the percentage change for each of the expirations by option type. So in the next block, we're going to use high charter, and we're going to split the calls and the puts and create two different plots. And if we take a look at those plots here, so effectively for my puts, we see that typically they rise between the 14th and 11th day or even 10th day left to expiration, and then they should typically rise prior to the event, which is about 4 days left to expiration, and then we get a crush the following day, which I assume is after the earnings release. And if we take a look at the calls, we see that they also rise between the 14th and 10th day, and then again 4 days before expiration, and then I assume after the release we see a huge decline in implied volatility. I'm going to track and see the out of the money options between the 6th day and the 4th day to see if I spot any changes, and then based off of that I might check other stocks that might have earnings releases coming up. But with that guys, this concludes the video. I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.